Hi, this video is on how to set up the BIOS on a Dell computer. This is in particular the laptops that we're using for students right now. The Dell E6420 and E6520 are basically the same BIOS. This is the 6420 we're looking at now. You can tell by the arrow in the display up in the top left. So we're going to go through some of the settings to make sure it's set up the way we want it. Right here we're on system information where we can see how much memory is installed. On all these machines we want 8 gig of RAM, so we should see down here on the right side that both the DIMM A and DIMM B slots have 4 gig of RAM each, or in this case 4096 megabytes, which is 4 gigabytes. And you can see the total memory up top right there is 4 gig. I can also go down and scroll through here and see what kind of hard drive is installed. Just by down arrowing, we can see that this primary hard drive is a 120 gig hard drive. That's all we can tell about it from here, but in this case we know we want 120 gig drives in all of our student machines. The next thing we can look at here is battery information, and we want to make sure that the battery that we've got in it is normal. If it says replace or bad, then we know that this battery is on the way out and we need to go ahead and put a different in there. I actually let this one discharge all the way and I'm recharging it right now, but you can see it says health normal. Down in the boot sequence, the next one down on our laptops, we just put it to the internal hard drive and then the onboard NIC. Those are the only two things these boot from. If it was a Dell PC, it would be set to the CD-ROM, then the onboard NIC, and the hard drive last so that we can do software testing and we can do fogging on the fly without touching those machines. If I wanted to enable the hard drive or the CD drive, all I do is go down here and check it, and once it's checked it shows up over there, and I can change the order just by moving those by clicking on them and hitting the up and down arrow buttons just like that. But like I said, in this case laptops go just hard drive and then NIC. The next thing we're going to look at over here is our system configuration. I can hit the space bar there to see all the system configuration. On the integrated NIC, we need it to be enabled with PXE, meaning that it can boot from the network when we want it to. So we've got that set. When we go down here to SATA operation, we always set ours as AHCI. Those are different ways that the controllers talk to the hard drive, and all of our images are set up as AHCI drives. Here, when we go under drives, is where we can enable and disable drives. In the case of laptops, we just leave them all checked. In the case of desktops, depending on which BIOS, we might uncheck those so that it doesn't erroneously give us an error message that a hard drive is missing. And as I go on down, I'm going to go to video next. I go ahead and set Optimus as enabled for all student machines and disabled for all staff machines where they're using their machine as their primary workstation. Optimus allows the battery life to last longer. However, it does not allow the staff docking stations to go to our LCD projectors and extra monitors at the same time if Optimus is enabled. So, student machines, Optimus is enabled. I'm going to go ahead and enable that. Just check. Staff machines where it's their primary workstation, that's where it's disabled. Going down to security, I'm going to go ahead and spacebar. Hit the spacebar. We do set an admin password. I always set that last after everything else is set, just so I don't have to enter a password. And the admin passwords are given to our advanced tech students to set those when they're working on those. That's the only thing under security that we work on. When we go down to power management, the AC behavior is unchecked. The auto on time should be disabled. The military has these all set usually to start up every day at 12:05 a.m. We do not, or 12:15 a.m. You can see there, we disable that. We don't want our laptops to turn on us in the middle of the night. And that's it for power management. The only other thing that we go down to is wireless. And we uncheck all these. They're going to be checked by default. Basically, we make it so that wireless switch does nothing. Frequently, students will and staff members will hit that switch, all of a sudden turning off their Wi-Fi, and then they bring it in because they think their computer is broken when really it's just that switch. We avoid all issues by unchecking those in the first place. So we uncheck all those on there. That is the last thing we do, and when we're all the way done, that's when we go and set an admin password, which basically just locks BIOS out from being changed. So we go ahead and put our admin password in there, and we have to put it in there twice, and then hit OK. And from here on out now, any changes that are made in the BIOS have to be, it has to be unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And then everything's done. That's why apply grays out, and I can just exit, and the machine is all set up for the proper configuration for BIOS.